Today, we're going to flow through a little series. We're going to focus mainly on abdominals, core strength and stability, a little bit of mobility. And we're going to use the magic circle. There are so many ways to use props, particularly the magic circle. If you don't have a circle at home, you can use a yoga block. You could use a cushion, a pillow, whatever you have, something to hold between your hands or your legs. Sometimes for a long time, I would use like books. So whatever you've got, you can use, but I really like to use this guy today. And you are going to start resting on your back. All right, once you're on your back and you've wiggled around and you've gotten your head and tail, your rib cage and pelvis, the most length that you can get it, you're gonna take the circle between your inner thighs. And everyone's got like a sweet spot of like a little bit closer to the knees or the thighs. And make sure your feet are slightly closer than your knees so that when you squeeze whatever you've got between your legs, in my case, the circle, when I squeeze the circle, I want my knees to be in alignment with my middle toes. So all we're going to do is let our hands rest. I like to take one hand just above my navel and one hand just below your navel. You're going to inhale, make sure your legs kind of relax. You're not squeezing anything. And then on your exhale, you're going to pull your belly in and back away from your hands as you squeeze the circle. And then you're going to inhale, release. Exhale, hugging and hollowing the belly as you squeeze the circle. And release. Notice that when you squeeze and you get those inner thighs, breath belly connection, pelvic floor all integrating. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. When you get that going, do you wobble? Right? Could you engage both sides as symmetrically as possible or as evenly as possible? So sometimes center feels very uneven. Exhaling, squeezing, inhale, release. And this is your moment to really tune into things. Exhale, squeezing. Notice if your butt is really curling and you're trying to use your glutes for something that you need to get your belly, your pelvic floor, and your inner thighs working. Right, so trying to hold yourself steady and heavy as you do this. One more. Exhale, squeeze, and then release. If you need to, on this next one, because we're going to have a little squeeze a little bit longer, you might need your feet a little bit wider. Bring your arms just down by your side. Press your hands into the mat. You are going to exhale and squeeze. Really make sure your inner thighs are facing each other. Your inner thighs should not be facing your head or your chest. They should be facing each other so you're truly parallel. And you're going to start to bridge up by pushing your feet down, just a glute bridge, keeping that squeeze so your knees aren't wider than your toes. You're not rolling out to the outside of your foot. You're really in the center of your foot, knees over toes, ribs and belly are down. You're going to inhale, drop the butt down, keep the squeeze, exhale, squeeze a little bit more, lift up for 1. Inhale, drop down, lessen your squeeze just a little bit, exhale, squeeze and lift 2. Inhale, drop down, exhale, squeeze and lift 3. Inhale down, exhale, lift and squeeze 4. Inhale down, release, exhale, squeeze and lift 5. Inhale down, exhale, squeeze and lift 6. And up 7. And up 8. Hold there, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, reach your arms overhead. And slowly roll down, squeezing your ribs, rolling down. Keep the squeeze on the circle and then release the squeeze as you're all the way down. Float your arms up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. Exhale, squeeze the circle. This time you get to curl up rather than hinge up if that's right for your back. You're going to curl those sits bones up. Keep the squeeze, inner thigh to inner thigh as you come up off the mat, keeping your ribs contained. Reach your arms overhead. And then rolling down, massaging your back, getting those ribs really nestled onto the floor. That's what you want to focus on that roll down. Release the squeeze, inhale. One more like that. Exhale, squeeze. Find the center of your foot, inner thigh to inner thigh. Curl the sits bones up, bridging up. Reach the arms overhead. And then rolling down, keep that inner thigh to inner thigh. Really pay attention to those ribs here because you're going to keep that abdominal work to keep your ribs down as you get your pelvis down. Then you are going to reach down to that circle, take it between your palms, thumbs with your fingers, gently pressing. I'm not trying to change the shape of the circle. I'm just pressing to engage my arms, fingertips reaching long. I'm going to walk my feet closer to the center of my body or the center of my mat. And then you're going to reach
overhead. Make sure those elbows stay straight and the ribs stay down. You are going to breathe into the back and side body as you reach overhead. Exhale, press a little bit more vigorously as you bring the shoulders onto the ribs and bring the circle right above your chest. Inhale, reach again. Back stays with the mat. Exhale, press a little bit with those palms into that circle. One more like this. Inhale, reaching. Allowing your scapula to upwardly rotate. Exhale, pulling all the way in. From there, you're going to flip the circle around. Take a padded part of your circle behind your head. Now, if you don't have a circle and you're just working with a block or a book or something like that, you can't really do this. So what you can do is just take your hands to support your head and neck. If you have a circle, you're going to take your hands to the other end of the padded circle. You're going to make sure that you've got this little padded part at the base of your skull or at a place where it feels like you can rest your head. Reach your elbows up towards the ceiling. Press your hands in there. Keep your feet and pelvis level, because I can push-pull my feet to help me ground there. And then you're just going to curl up, letting your head be heavy, reaching those elbows up. Use your hands pressing into that circle to come up and then down. I'm going to adjust a little bit lower. And then we're going to do that again, pressing to lift yourself up. Let your head be heavy as you curl up. And then lowering down. And then press and lift up. Rolling through your ribs, let your head be heavy. Like I'm trying to lead with my chin. Even though I have some place to keep my head supported, I'm still trying to lift there. All right, then if you wanted to, you can float your legs to tabletop to add on and lower down. And we're going to do that again. You're going to press and curl up. Head is heavy. Arms are helping you. And down. 2 more like this. You're going to press and curl. Release and lower down. And then you're going to do 1 more press and curl. And release and lower down. Bring the head down. Keep the legs are not at tabletop. Bring them up to tabletop, keeping those ribs down. Take the circle back between the palms of your hands, and you now have 2 options here. So you can either do this with your legs straight or bent or somewhere in between, right? So I guess 3 options. You could do a true tabletop, a kind of in between, or all the way straight, whatever is right for your body. I'm going to do 1 of each. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep those ribs down. We're going to reach the circle overhead. Ribs and spine stay stable. It does not arch away from the mat as we reach those arms. Exhale, bring the circle to the ceiling and curl up. Take the circle between your thighs if you're in tabletop and reach. Then you're going to send your legs away. Keep those ribs down. Bring them back in. Take the circle between the arms. Bring the head down. Keep the ribs down. Reach the arms overhead. If your legs are a little straighter, as you curl up, so if you don't have a true tabletop, but like a little open tabletop, you can go a little higher with that leg reach. Then take your legs away, bring the legs back up, and then take the head down, keeping the ribs down, reach the arms. Now, if you're doing straight legs, you could have pointed or flexed feet. You're going to curl up, you're going to take it up as high as you can reach. Keep reaching as you lower the legs. Squeeze the circle a little bit, lifting up. Lower the head down, reach the arms. 2 more of your choice. You're going to curl up. Take the circle between the legs. Lower the legs wherever they are. Take the circle back between the hands. Take the head down, reach the arms. The last one. And remember to breathe every now and then. Lifting up, head down, arms reach. Bring your knees in. You're going to roll to your hands and knees. On your hands and knees, you're going to be taking the circle between your upper arms, so just above your elbows, and you're going to come down to your forearms. And you're going to bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Middle fingers, middle of the wrist are aligned. Middle of the wrist and the middle of the elbow is aligned, and the middle of the elbow and the shoulder aligned. Bring your knees underneath your hips so you feel nice and stable. Press through your forearms, but squeeze the circle. So as you squeeze the circle, you're going to feel some shoulder muscles activate. Feel your chest stay open, so your collarbones stay wide as your elbows squeeze in. Draw those abdominals you were just working in and up to support that back, to support your rib cage, to support your organs. Now here, you're going to keep your body weight forward. You're going to shift the elbows off the ground just a few inches as you continue to squeeze. You keep that squeeze, you lower the elbows down. If it's too much to do this here, you can do this at the wall, standing with your forearms against the wall, circle there, and you just practice there, kind of like a wall plank, a wall forearm plank, and you practice that here. You come up, you reach those elbows down, collarbones stay wide, you squeeze that circle. 2 more. Squeeze and reach. 1 more. The greatest thing ever is going to be to straighten your arms all the way, even though you still have that circle. Flex or tuck your toes, flexing your ankles. Walk your feet back or your hands forward. Shift so your shoulders are over your wrists. You're going to squeeze that circle between your arms. Push the ground away. Toes are tucked. Instead of thinking knees up or butt up, all you're going to think is my heels reach back. Like someone's got a string on your heels and they just pull so much that your heels reach back. Your knees come off. Inner thigh to inner thigh. Pushing the ground away. Squeeze in. And then I want you to bend your knees a little bit and press with those arms, squeezing that circle as you go back. Lift the ribs up. It's not a downward dog. It's like something in between. And then you're going to squeeze. You're going to come back into your plank, squeezing that circle, pressing the ground away. Doing that again. Bend the knees. Allow the hips to hinge as you press through those arms, squeezing the circle. And then you pull forward. Last one, bend the knees. Squeeze the circle, press away. And then you come forward. Now from here, you're going to step your feet wide, bend the knees, walk back. And I know you have the circle, but that's okay. Now, take the circle between your thighs, which is going to feel really funny. Keep your knees bent. Now, as you squeeze, you're not going to be super close with the feet. So you're going to squeeze. And again, everyone's got like a sweet spot. Inner thighs have to face each other. You're going to come back down. You're going to have a wide stance with your feet, or wider than you did before. And you're going to squeeze that circle. Roll your inner thighs to face each other. Keep the squeeze on the circle. Rock on your toes. 1, 2, get that inner thigh to inner thigh. 3, bend the knees, press back and walk back, trying to stay centered with the mat. Get into your heels. Come up to standing, squeezing the tush. Gonna go right back down into a squat. Walk out to your plank. Hold your plank, 3 rocks. Keep that inner thigh to inner thigh. Don't force those thighs forward. Reach them parallel, inner thigh to inner thigh. Now I'm trying to stay centered on my mat as I walk back. Get into my squat. Come up, glutes, abdominals containing my ribs and organs. Last one like this, squatting down. Walking forward. 3 times. Keep the squeeze. Reach those heels back. Walking back. Get into your feet. Get into those heels. Come all the way up. And you're done. All right, straightforward core circle workout. So the Pilates ring, magic circle, whatever you want to call it. It's helpful and it's effective just to keep us connected to the midline. Sometimes this is too wide. So again, use a squishy ball like this, or you could use a yoga block, or you could just simply use a book that you have at home or a pillow that you have at home that's the right size for your body. So please make it your own. Use this as a tool to help you connect to that midline. And until next time, keep moving.